All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Wanted to make a real brief video about why I removed the latest Dodash videos that were actual her videos being brought in. And to be honest with you, um, I just don't trust the copyright system. I don't trust fair use, and I'm not going to take a chance on fair use. Usually, when you're doing this type of work and you're coming at people and you're making videos about them that are not shedding them in the best light, usually those are the videos that they want to attack you, come after and try to get them removed. Now, just to be clear, I have not received any copyright notifications or any type of takedown request. But in order to avoid that and be able to continue doing what I do, I've decided to not do that. Now, we do have a little bit of an issue. The system that I use is a system that I'm able to. The only reason I started bringing in her actual video is because I did not. There was not a way for me to bring in the audio the way I was doing it before. So if you guys don't know, I do a sports channel, and on that sports channel, I wanted to start bringing in guests. And even over here, if I interview people, as a matter of fact, we might have an interview scheduled this week with a particular individual. I don't want to say who they are just yet, but hopefully we can get that done this week. I think it's going to be interesting. But I wanted to get the system where I could bring in guests and they weren't hearing echoes of themselves. So it's a very complicated thing, mixed minus some stuff like that. So in achieving that goal, I now have it where I cannot hear audio. So I could play desktop audio right now. I can play a video right now. You won't be able to hear it. I can. You won't be able to hear it. It won't translate into the video. So it's a complicated system of mix minus audio stuff. It's a pain in the rear. So I finally got it to work on that side, and it took away the ability for desktop audio. Now, if you are not familiar with why I was doing that to avoid copyright, so that if there was not never a chance for her to try to come at me and take down my videos, because if she could do that, it would have already been done. Okay, but I don't want to risk. I don't want to take the risk because we're doing the work that we're doing is great. And I'm almost to the point where, so right now I'm trying to figure out if there's a way that I can bring it in the audio like I used to do. And even if I did that, would you guys even want to still see that? The video was a different dynamic and it was great, but I just don't trust the fair use system. I do not trust that because basically fair use is a law that is subjective. It really is. If the person decides, if YouTube decides that something falls under fair use, then I would be okay. If they don't decide that, then that's when they usually take down the video. So you guys know that we had to deal with. I didn't have to deal with this in particular because when I brought in a few of this guy's clips, I guess it was transformative enough in order to fall under the Fair Use Act. But I didn't trust YouTube. I did not trust them because they dictate what falls under fair use. And if they saw that or dictated that my videos did not fall under fair use, then things could go wrong after that. Now, the other way that I've been doing this, because trust me, if she could take down my videos, they would have already been down. Okay. But it's just something that I don't want to risk because there's a lot more involved in than, let me just say, what you see. All right. So I decided that to be safe and protect myself, I took down the videos on my own. I was not requested. I did not get a takedown request. I did not get a remove request. But the person that I was bringing up before, everybody knows Dante London. Dante London he did it two or three separate times where he gave people permission verbally, which does not matter. Came in, copy struck a lot of people. They lost their channels. Some of them got it back. Some of them had to create new channels. And YouTube is real finicky. So if they feel like it doesn't go under fair use, which I think it was transformative enough, you know what I'm saying, that I added my own commentary. And you might be asking yourself, well, I see a lot of reaction videos, a lot of reaction channels, and everyone falls under the same thing. So if one of those channels wanted to pursue copyright detection, they could do that and then go from there and whatever YouTube deems fit. So it just means usually, okay, so reactions are part of the YouTube ecosystem. And when you bring in somebody's video, you are running the risk of a copyright situation. And it will be then up to YouTube to figure out if that copyright situation is within the realms of fair use. If it is, you're fine. If it's not, then that's when the person that requests the copyright takedown can and I can pursue. And I want to tell you, so a copyright takedown, which has not happened to me, I'm just being proactive because I have a lot. This channel is probably doing her the most damage, so I want to make sure that it stays here. And in order for me to do that, I just don't trust the system to keep this channel up. So I'm not going to run the risk of showing her video anymore because that's what it was. It was like a risk. I was taking a chance with this. So there are other creators that do reaction commentary. And if they transform it enough that it falls under fair use, then they can bypass the copyright situation. It's kind of like when if you know anything about sampling, right? So Kanye West, a huge sampler, that's his whole career is built off of sampling albums, right? So if you change up a sample enough, you don't have to get approval from the people who made the song. At least that's the way I understand it. So but if you don't, you have to clear with that songwriter or whoever owns the rights to that song. You have to clear it with them in order to use their sample. So if you transform it enough, sometimes you can miss copyright in the first place. You can avoid it, but again, that's deemed by whoever deems those things. In this case, whenever you're using someone's video, you are running the risk of a copyright situation. And I don't want that because again, this channel is doing way too good of a job. We've done enough damage, so to speak, in limiting the range of her scams. Okay. So in order to keep that a thing, if we continue, and the only reason I say if is because I don't know if I can bring in the audio like I did before. I really don't know. So this could be the end, like the official end, because getting my system to work for my other channel is much more important than bringing in desktop audio, if that makes sense. So hopefully this is not the end, but if it is, we've done great work. Okay. And I say we because this is a collective effort. We've done great work, and it's going to be, I'm like Captain Planet, man. The power is yours. It might be time for me to pass the torch, so to speak, to someone else or someone who wants to take those risks. I don't want to take the risk. I don't want to do that because, again, I've got a lot riding on the things that I do. And it's, to me, the way that copyright is and fair use is, it's too risky to keep going. It's too risky because, again, I don't decide what's transformative enough. YouTube decides that. If they decide that I think it was transformative, I mean, I was pausing, I was giving my own commentary, and I've seen channels that have done that and have not passed the copyright and have not won the appeals and things like that. So again, I did not receive a takedown notice from her. I never have, okay? I think that I never have because she was unable to do it before. But now I am giving her an opportunity, and I would not do that. I'm not going to do that. I thought about it. I've been thinking about it for the past few days because I would have went right back to audio, but I realized I couldn't do that, and I was like, well, this is the only way that we can do it. And I have too much at stake for me to risk putting it on a law that is finicky to begin with. So we will, if we can continue, we'll continue when the need arises. If we can't, then we can't. But I wanted to make sure that I put you guys, this is a choice, a decision that I made for the good of my channel and the good of what we're doing and the good of, to tell you the truth, much more things. So this was a decision I made. Again, no takedown requests. I have no takedown notices, no emails, nothing like that. It has not been done. But based off what Dante London did and what I'm sure basically when you make videos that are derogatory or bring negative attention to people, if I was making videos about her that were positive, that she could share, okay, then that would be fine. She probably wouldn't have a problem with that. Most people don't. You know, when you're talking in a good light about someone, they don't mind that. But if you turn negative or you turn where you are bringing attention to something that they're doing that is wrong, they will most likely eventually try to get those videos removed. And there's a lot of consequences that come with that I am not going to deal with. All right. So I have a lot riding on YouTube, and she is not worth losing that. She's not worth that. So for those reasons, I decided it was better to protect myself from any type of retaliation. As far as copyright, we've seen it done before. Dante London has done it a ton of times, and I've got much too much writing on YouTube and to let her damage that. Okay, so as far as the audio is concerned, that's okie dokie, a-okay, and that's why that I've been bringing it in. And you know what's funny is that a lot of people that were dealing with certain individuals, I'll use Dante London for example. A lot of people that were using when Dante London hit a breaking point and he wanted to flex, he had all that stuff removed. He had all, and some won, some lost, right? But I've got way too much at stake to lose, if that makes sense. So I know it's a YouTube thing. A lot of you probably won't understand, but again, if you want to do some research on copyright and how it's a law from 1976, but it's very subjective as well. It really is. You would think that you're doing something to transform a piece of art, basically make content. It's almost like it's a whole different piece of content. You would feel that you've done that, and I'm sure creators have done that, and then you find out that it doesn't fall under fair use. So again, the fair use disclaimer has no relevance on whether it's fair use or not. So again, this is just a risk that I didn't want to take in this regard. It doesn't mean that I would stop. If I can find a way to bring the audio back in and some visual components, we can do that. But if I can't do that, then this might be the end. I don't want to say it's going to be the end if I'm not sure. But I will say this: if this is the end, which again, the only thing stopping me is the audio situation. And I've worked years to figure out how to do this, and I finally figured it out, and that's much more important. So I will say this: the work that we've done is phenomenal, and this could be a nice time to pivot, like a pivot point where, okay, something out of my control took me out the game. And if you guys have seen Christopher Nolan's, my profile picture, this picture here is, I wanted to blow it up, but this picture here is, I had Chat GTP or GPT or whatever put me in a bat suit inside the bat cave. And if you actually blew this up on your phone, if you type and you click on this profile picture, what I was trying to do, you can see on the screens in the background are YouTube videos or YouTube itself. And they did a phenomenal job rocking that mustache too, by the way. The photo that I gave it to, duplicate or reference. And Batman is a symbol. In Christopher Nolan's movies, it's a symbol. It's not about the person itself, it's about the symbol. So it could be Bruce Wayne, it could be somebody else picks up the mantle. So if that's what needs to happen, then I'm sure if the bat signal calls, then somebody can pick up the mantle. I do enjoy doing this to a certain point. It does. Season 2 was super exhausting. Keeping up with her is super exhausting, especially prior to this whole thing that she's running. Moving out and stuff like that. She was posting every day, multiple times a day, and it was all shenanigans. Everything was shenanigans. So nothing changed as far as what I believe. The video that she made today, which was to me either pre-recorded from before, and again, she claims to be living in her car. And if you go look at her most recent video, they are the worst DIY covers I've ever seen. She would have been better off just going to buy some, but it is not. It's just, there's still been no proof that she's moved out, that she sold the stuff or anything like that. So we can still stay in this space. If you guys want the audio and I can figure that out, we'll try to figure that out. We can still stay in this space, but we have to essentially go back to the old way we were doing things. I was protecting myself from a finicky copyright system or a finicky law that I just don't trust. I just don't trust it. I am not going to leave this channel up to what YouTube views as fair use. Some people can do that. Some people are fine with it. I don't want to do that. I have way too much writing on YouTube in order for that to happen. So if you know, you know, but unfortunately, this is a small victory because I was taking views away from her and things like that. And you guys think I want to do this for money and I'm trying to build my channel. Listen, you guys know how I feel about this channel. You guys are awesome. And initially, I don't think I appreciated you like I probably should have, because I was like, oh, I should say to you guys I would delete the channel and blah, blah, blah. And the only reason I would say that is because of the fact that we're in this niche. Like we're in a I wanted to be in the niche of helping people on YouTube, and then that turned messy real quick. So now we're in like the messy niche. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I looked at it as like this suicide kamikaze mission where if I destroyed the channel at the sake of bringing attention to what she was doing, that taking advantage of other people, elderly people, she tried to get y'all to quit y'all jobs. Some of y'all did. She tried to get you to get on YouTube. Some of y'all did, with very little to no actual substance behind that. And the part that really, really took me over the top is the taking advantage of people who know less, right? From the shout outs to the reviews, when all of this stuff. And trust me, there's enough videos on my channel. You can't really see them on hers. And I want to make this very clear. The work that we have done, the receipted videos in audio form that we have done are enough to bring attention to her. And it was only a matter of time before something happened. And I'm not going to give her that opportunity. I'm going to stay on her head if I can still do it, but I'm not going to give her that opportunity. So again, small victory for her, but that's okay, because not only do I still have my YouTube, this channel is still here. And if this channel was to disappear, I would want it to be in my hand, not someone else's. All right. So again, I'm protecting myself from what I know is coming. The only reason they couldn't do it before is because they could not do it before. I was only bringing in audio, and there was no way they were going to get that. Trust me. I know for a fact that they would have tried, that they have tried, but there's nothing there. So now there is, okay? And who knows if they've already tried, but I know it was coming. It came with Dante London, with a lot of, when people get tired of you talking about them, they will try to do something about it. And I got over 100 videos on this woman. There's no doubt that she's tried to do it, right? So anyway, her aside, I'm not going to leave it up to YouTube, because I think I was transforming the content, but I'm not going to leave it up to fair use and the subjective opinion. It's basically will be up to them. All right. And the same thing would apply. So anybody you seeing bringing in somebody else's content, they all fall under the same thing. Are they transforming it enough for it to become their own content? And that's what YouTube is looking for. But because I don't want to risk that, then I am going to stop bringing in her video. If we can figure it out another way, then we'll do that. All right. Just wanted to let everyone know what was going on. Again, I did not receive anything, but very similar to Dante London, I know it's only a matter of time, because we are doing massive damage to her. And it's not damage in a way that you think it is. We are we are the barrier between her scams running rampant. Before she got on YouTube, she was able to do this stuff, right? You went into Lipstick Alley or a Reddit forum about it, but now you can see video documentation, audio documentation of what she's doing, and we're doing significant good. I'll put it like that. We're doing good as far as reaching people. The number of you in the comments that almost fell for the shenanigans but came and said, Derek, and I didn't say anything. All I'm doing is bringing to light what she's doing. You're making the ultimate decision whether or not I'm making sense. And it's ultimately up to you. Some people we could save, some people we couldn't, right? But I'm not going to give her the opportunity. But again, if I can figure this out, we're still in business. If there's something to talk about that I don't need to bring in any type of audio, then we could definitely be on that. But until I figure that out, we're going on hiatus from this type of content, because again, I've said this numerous times, and I didn't mean to make this video that long. I just wanted to make sure I thoroughly explained it. Is I do not trust the copyright system with fair use on YouTube. Okay, stating fair use, showing the fair use disclaimer means absolutely nothing. It does not mean a thing, because I have had to take down people's videos. I've never had somebody request to take down from me, and I'm not going to have that start now. Okay, so you can look at it the way you want to, but this is a protection from, one, keeping this channel going, and not giving her the satisfaction of even trying to do that, because Dante London did it several times. He did it. He said he wasn't going to do it. He did it again. He said he wasn't going to do it. He did it again. And they just pop up on you. And I'm not going to give her that chance. Who knows? Maybe she already did, but I'm not going to give her that chance. Okay. So I hope you guys understand. If this is the end, we've done the best that we can do, and the rest is up to you. So as Captain Planet would say, the power is yours. I appreciate y'all. I'm not going anywhere, but we'll see where the content goes as far as she's concerned from here on out. I appreciate you guys.